And welcome everyone to the first episode of the Hidden Shrine, where I will be taking this group of plucky adventurers through the adventure path known as the Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan. The ancient ruined city of Tamoachan is familiar to a select few scholars and fortune seekers who know of it, but not always exactly where it is. Supposedly lying somewhere within it is an ancient temple. Adventurers who catch wind of this place are likely to find its lore irresistible. Yet scholars also, for the ancient civilization of Tamoachan fell mysteriously a long time ago. Some say to plague, others to war. But the truth is shrouded in mystery. Our various group of adventurers find themselves waking up after waking up with bruised bodies and a little bit of a headache, and a strange prickly feeling to their skin. The last thing they remember is the ground giving way beneath them and falling deep, deep down underground. And it is with that we will shortly begin. But first, let's have an introduction from each of our players. Just give me your name and the name of your character for now. We'll start with you, Bacon.
Ooh, me first. Okay. I'm Bacon. I am playing Invisibility, or Bill for short. Who am I describing my whole character?
Bill.
No, just that'll be enough for now.
All right.
We'll get to next bit. Jamey.
I'm Jamey, and I am playing Grendel.
Okay, Sen.
I am Sen, and I'll be playing Morrigan.
And last but certainly not least, Steph.
Hi, I'm Steph. I will be playing Teresa T. Halfspoon.
Excellent. And with that, let me just think if there's anything else I want to cover. No, I think for now we will go straight into things, and I shall take you to the first map.
Bill.
We appear to be missing something.
Bill Bacon, insect guy.
You're missing something? What could you possibly be missing? Could it be... I created a feature for this. Where's my feature gone? That one, I think.
You did.
There you go. So, the party wake up. I'll re-drag Bill back on. On the ground, partly covered in rubble. What do you do, I suppose?
Oh, we are backwards. Funny.
Are we
I'm
supposed to be seeing anything? Because my screen is black. All I can see is my token.
I
Yep,
seem to be
that's
holding.
because-
That is right. Yeah, I just wanted to check.
Yep, that's because it's very dark down here.
Cool.
But Grendel, you should be able to see.
I seem
Let
to be
me update.
holding Morrigan's garrote.
Yes, our tokens are backwards.
We will ignore that for the time being. Why is your vision range only 10 feet? Oh, because you have blind sight, and that's overridden. Okay, I'm changing that. I don't know how to do both, but... Okay, so yes. Well, as T, you are the first one to speak up and ask, I suppose. We'll start with you. What would you like to do? You find yourself slightly covered in rubble, having fallen quite far down, and you're in a pitch black room, and your skin is oddly tingly.
I am gonna get up to my feet, dust myself down.
Okay.
Oh, that was a bit of a doozy, wasn't it? Anybody hurt? Hello?
Does anyone respond?
Am I hurt?
Nope, nobody's injured, you're just a bit dazed. I suppose would be the right term.
Someone's a bit energetic after a long fall.
Oh, don't let it put a damper on your day, dear.
Well, I'm okay. Bravo.
Morg. Yes. Is the creature all right?
You see, like, there's like a. You see, Bill can't get up because there's a rock on top of him.
Oh no.
I'll give you.
Morgan will pick Bill up.
I see nothing, so I'm gonna fumble around and try and light my lantern.
Okay, lighting a lantern. Yep, you can light a lantern. There should be something you can do. I believe you should just be able to click on it in your sheet and it should turn on, I think. Hopefully.
Nope. What's it doing? I've got to click on...
Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to do what it's meant to do. I thought lights were automated. That's annoying. Let me just check what that gives. 30 foot, 30 foot. Let's do it that way. There you go. You should now be able to see.
So, Maury is your... That's okay.
Morgan is covering a sort of like looking over this creature as it stands there. It seems like there might be a fracture on the ligament, and then like looks towards, like, he's saying all this in sort of like whoops and howls in Knoll. Then he sort of turns back and says in common, "Nothing seems broke."
Good.
Right.
Good.
T, could you roll me a D100, please?
Oh my goodness.
A D100. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Okay. As you're attempting to light your lantern, it is more difficult. As you're striking to light the oil, there's a strange red glow, and it almost doesn't catch, but does succeed. Looking around the room, now lit by this, you can see there is a faint amber mist that is lightly obscuring the area. And of course, you see the members of the party, who I guess we will go around and do introductions. Or proper introductions. Now let's start with Grendel, what do we see when we look at Grendel?
You see a very tall, hyena-looking beast on 2 legs. Like that. And he's wearing, like, army gear. And this long trench coat that, as it moves, you can hear that it's reinforced. Doesn't look like, nor does it feel like. To his sides are 2 thickish cylinders that, because he's quite large, he can hold in his hands quite easily. But clearly they're more than just that. Probably something threatening in them. And he has hooked on his belt a cane and a knapsack to one side. And behind him is a fancy looking backpack for all his goods.
Okay. And as we've had one of our beastie boys introduced, we'll have the other one introduced now.
Morrigan is of similar height to Grendel, but they hunch over slightly more when they walk. On their hands, they seem to have a strange set, a pair of sort of mechanical gauntlets that seem to be dangerous, but what they'll be used for is a little unclear. They are fawning over a creature that appears to be very dead, but is walking. They wear a similar outfit to Grendel, and they a sort of a thick collar engraved with runes is on their neck as well. Most of what he's carrying seems to be kept sort of in this sort of heavy bag, thrown over a shoulder. The easiest thing to see in there is a heavy crossbow that is ready to be drawn if needed.
Okay. And our third non-human, or human-like character. Would you like to describe yourself?
Is that me? Is that Bill?
Yep.
Okay. So you see incredibly short, probably like 2'8", 2'9", insectoid, thri-keen creature, wearing full like dark cloth clothing. He's got a mask over his face. You can't really see. He's got 2 antennas poking out the top. And like you can't see anything on him. And he does have 4 arms. 2 of them are kind of like almost like a belt wrapped around his side. But you can't see, he's not holding anything, and he hasn't said anything. Just kind of standing there.
And finally, T.
So you see a small, just under sort of like maybe just over 3.5 foot to 4 foot tall halfling. She looks like she's in her sort of like older years in life. She's kind of got like that mum look to her. She's very soft around the edges, but she's wearing like a breastplate. She's got a large shield. But she is wearing a cooking apron, and it's got like lots of pockets and pouches on it. That's about all you see.
Okay, well now that the room is lit up and the parts you're introduced, allow me to give you some more description of the room. You're in a long, narrow chamber running east to west. In the center of this apartment is a dome shape on the floor. In the east wall is a blank-faced stone door. The west end of the room is blocked by fallen stone and rubble, apparently the result of a collapse and perhaps how you got down here. The 2 side walls appear to have several niches cut into them. The shape in the center of the room appears to be a small alcove protected by a half dome with the opening facing towards the door in the east wall. This alcove is set in a recessed, shallow tiled well, 1 foot deep and 10 foot wide. The alcove itself is 4 feet high. The recess contains some sort of display. The display appears to be a diorama depicting a hunting party of Ulman warriors in feathers and deer-hide garments in a mountainside scene. Some have pulled down a stag with the aid of a dog, another group is cleaning a small mule deer, and others have cornered a panther with their spears. A scout watches the panther from an outcropping above. He holds a metal staff with a loop in its end. It looks like a shepherd's crook. 3 niches on both the northern and southern walls are 5 foot wide and 3 foot off the floor. Each niche contains a diorama depicting some aspect of tribal life. The 6-inch tall figures in all of the displays appear to be made of stucco, realistically and brightly painted. Scenes portrayed represent fishing, farming, religion, warfare, the creation story, and crafting. And that's what you see in the room. Apart from, of course, that faint amber mist, which appears to be light and aiming mostly toward, congregating mostly at the ceiling, but there's enough at your level that it's caused, as it touched your skin, it leaves a slight tingling sensation.
Morrigan will sigh and look at Grendel and look at the mist and just kind of like raise an eyebrow as if to say, now?
Yeah, I don't think we want to be breathing in this shit.
Morgan will sort of reach into their pack and pull out a leather mask.
And so will Grendel from his knapsack.
Can I cautiously go towards the door?
Yep. You're free to move about. Perfect, but it'll do. This is what the masks look like.
Didn't think we'd be using these so soon.
Neither did I.
Yeah. T, what are you doing as these 2 hyena-like people are putting on strange masks and the insectoid goes towards the north of the room?
I don't know why that was an ability to, but
I think that's more just for the use of it.
Okay.
When you actually do use it.
What do I do? Does the fog seem thicker down this end of the room or the other end of the room? Is there a...
It seems to be pretty standard. The only place it seems to thicken is nearer the ceiling.
Okay.
Almost like a lighter gas, perhaps.
Okay. I'm pretty low to the ground anyway, being so short. So I'm moseying to find an exit.
Okay. Well, Bill, the insectoid, has gone towards the door.
Seems like the smartest place to go.
Okay. So, the door is carved with a sun symbol and appears to open into the room if you were to open it. There are hinges on this side and scratches on the floor. There's no visible lock or handle on it, although a slight gap stretched across the top. 8 holes seem to have been bored into the door. They're about 1 inch in diameter, but nothing can be seen in them. The door seems to be fairly thick. The lintel is arched with a keystone at the top.
Scratches at the bottom?
Yeah, on the floor, almost as if, like, so when the door would open, it would swing into the room. and would scrape across the floor.
So like it's dropped in weight and it's just kind of like
Yeah,
not sitting on its hinges properly.
something like that, yeah.
And no keyhole, no lock.
Yep, no keyhole, no lock, no handle.
But there's a sun
What
on
would you
the
like to
door.
do?
He said there's hinges on our side.
Mm-hmm.
We could try to pull off the hinges.
I'm gonna take a step away from the door, gesture to everyone to like take a step back as well. I'm gonna try thaumaturgy to make the door open if it's unlocked, so it'll like fly open.
Ah,
As you attempt to do so, the door rattles with a heavy stone sound, but it doesn't open. It appears to indeed be locked.
Yeah, the door is locked. I'm afraid. Anyone got a key?
hmm. You said there are 8 holes on the door?
Yes.
Is there in this diorama? Because that's the only other thing in this room.
Yeah, there's the diorama in the center of the room, and then each of the alcoves around the side has a almost like a carving, if that makes sense.
Okay. Is there any like objects on these, or is it like just like carving?
Well, it looks like if you're looking at the figures in it looks like the figures of people and animals in all of the dioramas are loose and can be picked up and manipulated.
Mm. Is there any of them that look like they would have a like they would fit in a slot in a snug way? Like one of the holes in the door, or is it? Essentially, I'm just trying to judge if any of them happen to be like keys or otherwise.
Okay, in the central display, there are 12 tribal warriors, a scout, a mastiff, and a panther. The scout holds a metal staff with a loop in its end that looks like a shepherd's crook. Then going from the bottom left, so here, and circling round to, so bottom left, you've got a river scene with a dozen commoners gathering rushes, fishing with nets, and carving a dugout. Above that, in the next niche, you have 12 commoners engaged in farming, planting maize, and harvesting wheat, whilst 5 tribal warriors stand guard, and a priest in a bird costume appears to be blessing the fields. And the final one on this side, there's a temple upon a tiered pyramid. 7 commoners are bringing small offerings of gold and jade. Before the temple stands a priest handling a large snake. Around him stand 3 costumed warriors. One dressed as a winged serpent, holds a spear. Another is dressed as a bear with razor claws. The third represents a coyote holding a torch. So several stone statues of the gods. Then bottom right, you have a scene of tribal warfare involving 20 warriors in combat. 10 painted black, while the others painted red. In the next one, it appears to depict the creation of the world. All the statuettes are stylized and obviously non-human. There's a god adorned in green quetzal feathers, mixing ashes with blood to form sculptures of a man and woman, while 4 towering figures painted red, black, blue, and white standing about a fire, committing suicide with their daggers. 2 smaller figures are ringed by the 4. The modest, pimply one is being consumed by the fire, while the braggart Lord of Snails cowers in fear. And the final one shows various forms of crafting, where 12 commoners are busy weaving rugs and baskets, carving totems, making pots, grinding stones for weapons, and making clothes.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
The one that had the gods creating people, there was
Mm-hmm.
a total of. Was there a total of 8 figures in that one?
Good and green gods, then 4 towering figures, then 2 small figures. No, there's 7 in that one.
How big are the holes that are in the door?
About an inch in diameter.
Hmm.
And as you're currently looking closely at the door, give me a perception check. Okay. Looking at the door, you find that the keystone over the door, which you are basically, you notice can be moved aside. Though perhaps you might not be tall enough to reach that yourself.
Would one of you ever so lovely tall gentlemen be able to reach this for me?
Sure.
Morrigan will grunt and the creature will go do it.
Okay, so moving it aside, you can see a keyhole hidden beneath this keystone.
A key.
Bill will gesture to the creature to stay where it is, or to Morgan to command the creature to stay where it is, and then he'll climb on its shoulders. And can I check out the lock?
Yeah, you can have a look at the lock.
Does it seem like a lock I could pick?
It's a strange stone lock where it looks like. Actually, give me an investigation check before I give you more information.
I'm not so good at these. Yeah.
Looking at it, for you, it just looks to be a hole that probably would be a keyhole, but for a really strange key.
Bill will turn to the rest of the group, shake his head, then hop down.
Should I take a look? More quickly, Morgan will look at Bill and say in common, should I take a look at the funny hole?
Bill will gesture with his arms, like, by all means.
Morgan will go take a look at the lock for the sake of...
Okay, give me an investigation check. One of the smart types, or perhaps. Who knows? Okay, is actually enough. So looking into this, it looks like it's kind of quite a basic lock. You would need something that would go in and be able to almost like hook around something and then be able to twist it.
I will go to the crook, the shepherd's crook.
Yeah, you see Bill's
Mm-hmm.
already Bill has already put that together, is already grabbing the shepherd's crook carefully to make sure that it doesn't like set off a trap or anything.
Yeah, so you are able to separate the crook from the figure. And if I quick... do I have an image of this? Second, I do have an image of this. I just need to grab it. Where is it? There it is. Crook. Looks a lot like this.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And with that, Bill, if you want, you are able to separate that, and you now have that in your hand.
Yeah, I'll reclimb on top of the creature's shoulders and attempt to open the lock.
Okay, as you put it in and twist it, the door unlocks, and you're able to open it.
Awesome.
The creature will open the door.
Okay.
Gonna pat
You
the
open
creature
the
on the
door.
arm and just be like, "Well done, good job."
This. So, the next chamber.
It's not the smartest thing, ma'am.
I didn't say it was intelligent. I said it did a good job.
The mist continues into this next chamber. The stone walls of this corridor are carved to resemble a stack of bamboo-like logs. The passage slopes down from a single door on its western leg, the lintel of which has been crafted to represent a stylized cavern entrance. Its double doors are beaten bronze, welcome to resemble a forest of seaweed.
Is there any indication where this mist is coming from?
It seemingly just appears to be permeating the area. It's not exactly clear what's generating it or if it's being generated. Though you can give me a nature check if you wish.
I absolutely will. What do you do?
Okay, so this gas is toxic, but it's not necessarily toxic to inhale, though that's bad. It almost has like an acidic component that will irritate the skin and potentially lead to damage over time. You would also note that based on what happened with T when they tried to light their lantern, it what's the right term? It seems to almost stifle the ignition of flames, causing them to burn a red, which will make it more difficult to light things.
Aw, that sucks. I was hoping it would be the opposite, but there you go.
And potentially also diminishing flames effects. T's lantern is fine because it's like a sealed glass case, but if it was an open flame, then there could be other issues.
Weirdly, I don't know if this would work. my nature check may imply, but usually soap is made out of something basic. Like it's usually going to be a lye or something. So that can denature fats. I have a bunch of soap on me. Would I be able to, with only a little bit of water, create a barrier on skin against this? Like it's only mildly acidic, which means that we may be able to prevent damage to ourselves with a soap, like a mild soap barrier. I have 5 bricks of soap that I bought because I'm a doctor.
Splurlip would be proud.
that with that, you think that whilst it might not remove the effect entirely, it might be enough to lessen the effect somewhat for at least a limited time.
All right, I will at least sort of speak up. Do be careful of the gas. It smells a lot like slimes.
I was really wondering how you were going to pull that off. That's interesting. Okay.
You guys will all hear in your head, Bill for the first time. He'll say, "Let me go first." And I'm going to creep down the corridor, checking for traps as I go, and to try to.
Okay, that's going to be investigation checks again to see if you can spot any traps.
Gotta roll good.
Not bad. Let me check my notes.
I can give guidance if needed.
Go for it. They might need it.
Okie dokie. If I can find it on my sheet. There it is. An extra 2.
13.
Second. Really badly. You're not seeing any traps.
Then I will cautiously step through, also just kind of observing what I'm walking past as I'm going.
Yeah, so as I said, the walls of the corridor are carved to resemble a stack of bamboo-like logs. Also, guidance is no longer concentration. Let me take that off.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, and I was just a bit like, oh.
Yeah, it's... Yeah. There you go.
Morrigan will step up and looking at Bill and looking at T. Morrigan will hand T and Grendel, and he just says, calmly, "You might want to eat this," and I'm going to cast Aid.
Ooh.
So what did you give them exactly to cast aid in this case?
It appears to be a meat jerky.
Okay. You are both given some meat jerky, and Morrigan obviously devours their own. But
No, it didn't work. Damn. I might need the other aid. I couldn't find it on Mistress sheet whenever I was looking, so I was hoping it would work. But...
did it not by the max?
That'd be because the new one is done and dusted. Should be in the first level spells.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to drag that in. Yeah.
It is second level spells. Okay, I will.
Yeah, it's in the second level as well.
Okay, I will recast that, and I just won't spend the resource for it.
So we've gathered this amber mist. Seems to be
Mhm.
quite acidic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got.
Pulls out these small capsules and hands one to each of them and chucks one to Bill, who's wandering ahead. Just bit of smelling salts. And he takes the one and cracks it under his nose. Tapping into black bile ability of his plague doctor feet.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it
Yeah, the black
sens-
bile.
Yeah, you get like a really earthy smell that seems to bind inside your nose. And you gain resistance to acid damage and advantage on saving throws against being knocked prone for an hour.
Left. Um.
We'll have to make a feature or do it manually.
But can you do that to multiple people?
There's no
I
limit
guess
on
you
it.
just. Yeah, you just have to do it. Yeah.
I think the
And I
only
don't think
limit is rough is like you can only do one at a time. Like so we can't do different humors to us
Yeah.
while the hour is elapsing.
Yeah, so that's the one we have, and that's the one we're stuck with
For the hour at least, yeah.
for the hour.
Okay, remind me and I'll set that up for next session. But just remember, you will all have resistance to acid damage and being knocked prone. Like, question the knocked prone at the same time, but I suppose that's because it's meant to give you like a connection to Earth.
Yeah, it makes you feel really grounded.
Yeah. Right, are the party proceeding now that they have given themselves some buffs?
If Bill is walking forward, the creature will walk behind, and Morrigan will go. The creature can walk first if you're worried.
Sure. Bill will nod.
The creature will walk ahead of Bill, and just like literally like just walk down the hallway.
No, all right. Bill will observe it. See if
Nothing.
it steps
Nothing
up front.
happens
Perfect.
as it goes towards the door.
When I approach the door, I'll quickly check it.
Okay, I'm
a lot.
pausing there just before you do, because 3 of you are standing on this area at the same time.
Oh no.
Right. As the 3 of you step on top of this, your combined weight triggers a pressure plate over the area. This causes each of you to take 8 bludgeoning damage as several of the logs swing out from each wall and actually push you forward towards the doors.
Okay.
Yeah, so feel free to apply that damage.
That extra HP was nice while it lasted.
I mean, we still have it as on our maximum.
Yeah. Oh,
It increases our maximum HP for 8 hours.
nice. Nice.
Yeah. It seems like another thing is as these doors, what's the right term? Swings open and knocks you down towards that. Yeah, it's not really what to do it. There is now should really be a wall. The way back is now blocked by these log-like structures that had hit you and knocked you down.
Well, we must be going in the right direction then.
So if there was anything back there, you'll never know.
Bill will.
But yes.
You'll hear in your heads. Bill will say, "Sorry, I must have been too light," and then he'll bow.
Yeah, so you have two double doors. Each of them work to resemble a forest of seaweed. They're made of beaten bronze.
Is there a keyhole on
What
these?
do you like to do? No. They do look like they might be able to, with enough force, just be pushed open.
I will step back and let the gentleman, the bigger gentleman, take over.
I
Push.
will have the creature help Grendel. In case it needs to be. Okay. They're open.
Oh my goodness, what is that?
Okay. The room is constructed of large stone blocks, but tressed in the corners. The walls are wet and slimy, and mud covers most of the floor in a thin coating. The east and west may be seen stone doors recessed in the wall, and to the north a set of stairs leads down. In the center of the chamber sits a large polished boulder amid a pile of smaller rounded rocks. The boulder is 5 foot tall and colored brown with dark streaks and spots. Leaning against it is what appears to be a bamboo star. In the mud around the base of the boulder is a moving shape, looking like a crayfish. It is facing you and seems to be aware of your presence.
Whatever that is, this is the only way forward.
Does it look aggressive? Or just aware of our presence?
And it just seems to be looking at you warily, I would say.
What do you think, ma'am?
I think it's positively adorable. We should go say hello.
Hmm.
It's a bit of a close rub. That's kind of what you're seeing.
Look at how cute it is!
It does look cute.
I'll look at the
Active guard.
creature, and if it's willing, I'll establish a telepathic bond between me and it, and that way I can communicate.
That
never
comes from
mind.
your...
My thri-keen ability. Does this creature understand a language?
Let me... Yes, I suppose in this case, yes, it does.
Oh yeah, so if it's willing, I can establish a telepathic bond between me and it, and then we can convey our thoughts to each other.
Okay, I'll say it's willing, and you hear in your head, who is this? Who dares to enter the chamber of the Guardian? You had better go, or I will have to discharge my sacred duty. Be off with you before I lose my temper. To the rest of you, this sounds like an ancient tribal dialect of some kind.
So
I will, while they're conversing, I will sit down and start ritual casting comprehend languages.
So we were. How did we end up falling in this hole?
So, the
Question.
party. So, after, I suppose, the three of you, the two gnolls and thri-keen, you were together, correct? And the corpse creature, or were you separate? I don't know if we established that.
Yes, we met Bill on the surface.
Yes. Bill
Yeah.
had been coming for his own reasons, but decided to tag along with them because of their enthusiasm.
Yeah, so...
Morrigan decided to keep a pet. As
Yeah,
well as the skeleton gnoll.
Casting your mind back to above the surface, you are heading towards the pyramid temple that is dominated the area treading across cracked and overgrown flagstones, stepping over fallen and shattered pillars. When you were nearly at the temple, there was a large sound, almost like a stampede of animals, that caused you to at least try to move to re-establish your position for, potentially fighting. You were running, and as you're running, you saw a halfling running as well, also chased by a large cloud of dust kicked up by some animals. As the five of you, technically, if we include the creature, got near to each other, the ground collapsed beneath you.
Then I will convey to the guardian. We mean no harm. We were on the surface when there was a cave-in and we have fallen down here. We're simply looking for the exit.
It seems to consider these words. It's like, you descended from the sky, and now you wish to escape the earth. But to do so, I would have to let you pass through my chamber, and that I cannot allow. That would be to decry my sacred duties as guardian of the roost of the conch.
Bill will understanding how important a sacred duty is, will nod his head in understanding, and then to the rest of the party, you guys will hear in your head, prepare for a fight. We must to get through him, we must match him. And then Bill will jump in to go attack him.
Yeah, I think that's the general idea.
Okay, we're going into initiative then. Your creature shares your initiative, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Actually, because it's a summon, this might actually work. I set it up. Roll for initiative. No, I didn't.
Oh,
So,
Bill, come
you.
on.
Right.
Wow.
Morrigan, you're up first.
Does anybody want to swap initiatives before we go? So I can do that. Anyone in the allies want to swap initiatives? I got 11.
By all means.
Oh, do you want to go later in initiative?
I'm right at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Give it to Grendel then.
Yeah, alright, Grendel will swap.
Where's my alert? Does that not add anything to it? I'm just getting a plus not
anymore.
You get advantage.
Oh, is it advantage? No, because alert for me still says I'm getting proficiency bonus on my initiative.
Oh, it's proficiency bonus. It is. You might have just rolled really badly, Grendel, unless alert just didn't work properly.
Yeah.
No, it didn't add your proficiency.
No, it wouldn't have made much of a difference, but it's just...
You'd be faster than the crayfish.
Yeah. So I will update you to add, to put you where you would be. At that point, probably doesn't matter initiative-wise amongst you, unless you really want to go in a particular order.
No, we should be.
I don't think I have an order in mind, unless you guys have something.
No, I mean, I can stun him if I go first.
Holy crap.
Maybe, but I don't know. This guy kind of seems like a chump, so I'm not really worried about it.
Okay, yeah. Morrigan will step forward and you guys would hear a wrenching sound as they put their gauntlets together for a moment. and you would see as they whip out a razor wire to hit the this creature. And it seems to be attached to both gauntlets in the way that it's winding back and forth.
Whoa.
And my creature will also move forward to put themselves between me and it. And I will use my bonus action as this razor wire flies out to attempt to trip it using my intelligence, my attack modifier instead of my athletics.
Oh, what did you say you were doing? Sorry.
I'm gonna try to trip it, knock it prone.
Okay. Okay, and what does it have to roll against that?
It has to roll a athletics or acrobatics, I believe. I don't know how. I've never used ensnaring before, so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I think it fails.
I will untarget it. Yeah, I don't think I can roll lower than that, but might as well make sure. Yeah.
Yep. As your razor wires hit and knock it prone, it calls out, Kaukakila! Kaukakila! And the stone next to it begins to move and raise up.
Oh.
There's a crab. He's kind of cool.
They will roll on to initiative.
It did matter.
Is that everything for your turn, Morrigan?
I will move this. Okay. Yep, that is me.
Yeah, T, you're up.
Okay. Is the orange smoke present in this room?
Yep, it is present
Okay.
everywhere.
I'm just gonna kind of turn to my left, look at Bill, and go, "Oh, must we kill it? Can we not
Bill
defeat it without killing it?"
Bill will, in your head's like, kill it with honor, or it lives with dishonor. And then he'll like juggle, he'll like weigh the options in each of his hands.
Very well.
Goes the crab.
Aw. Okay, in which case... Oh. We will go for...
That was cool.
And how does your sacred flame look like as you cast it, I suppose? Good question.
It looks like a giant flaming marshmallow, and it kind of hits it with like a sploot.
Bro. Is that your turn? Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yes, I'm gonna keep my distance, I think, for the time being.
Okay. And Morrigan, you cast Comprehend Languages, didn't you?
I did.
Oh, why you wake me up? Oh, yes. It's been ages since I had guests.
Oh my God.
Wait. Did that one just throw food at you and you hurt? That's weird.
Oh.
I don't want to hurt
Aaron.
them.
They are intruders, Kalkakila. We must kill them. We must discharge our sacred duties and drive them back. But,
Oh.
I guess. And it will go,
Oh, little guys.
No.
this one looks a bit weird. I'll hit him first. Ugh. Oh, it's really tough to hit. And it's as it's moving that you notice that the bamboo staff that I mentioned leaning against it appears to be one of its legs. I got it, Mr. Crayfish. Good, young Kalkakila. I still don't know though. This one looks like it bad, but the others look nice. They're fluffy. Except that one looks kind of tasty. They point towards Bill. Now it's your turn, Bill.
All right. Bill's going to jump into action, vaulting off the wall to get closer. He's going to go for the honor-bound crawfish. And he's going to go ahead and try to hit him with an unarmed strike.
That's brilliant. That's why it's a win. Your blow hits it, and you can see crabby blood pouring out of it. Ah! I must uphold my sacred duties and defend this place.
Okay, two things. So I had taken from my magical item the wraps of unarmed power.
Yeah, and did it not apply
I
them?
don't believe so because it's the monk unarmed strikes, and then also, I'm rolling a D8 instead of 2D4.
Yeah, I'll update those behind the scenes.
Perfect.
I know there's a way to change that particular setting somewhere. I'll look at that later, but for now I'll just change it to 2D4. Just wait. I should do it. And then so your wraps would add an extra 1 to the damage and attack roll, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll apply that. Anything else, or
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and make that a stunning strike. So
okay,
he's
that's a
gonna-
con save, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh,
See, does he make it?
see, it does.
Well, now he's getting hit
Oh.
again.
Haven't done the extra yet, but I didn't add the mod that time. Okay, what's your dex plus
It is
4?
4.
So then an extra 1. So hey, it's looking very badly beaten up at this point.
And then bonus action unarmed strike is what I'll do.
Okay. Nice. Yep. Yeah.
And that's
If
a
you
natural
hit it.
20.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. How do you finish this one off? I suppose is the question.
So yeah, I would probably hop in. I would hit him once, with an overhead, hammer fist, and then noticing the crack, he would swing around with his left hand and do it again, and then noticing it getting bigger, the two arms around his stomach would unfurl, and then interlock fingers, then he would do another overhead slam.
Okay, yeah, and you smash it apart. A very visceral way of killing it. Oh no, Mr. Crayfish. It seems to consider this. Oh.
And then I will rotate around and get in between the crab and he and Grendel, and end my turn.
To
Yep.
be clear, Morrigan is the only one that understands it because they comprehend languages.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's a bonus action for me to establish a new link with this creature.
My turn?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm good.
Eh. Get the flanking and pulls out those cylinders and sort of like flicks them with both hands, and they sort of like they flick outwards, like an umbrella would, those small umbrellas, except it's just like a sharp point, and then it flicks into two hooks on these hinges and locks into place. And he's gonna go in for an attack, and hopefully not miss. For his main.
Oh!
I'm going to. Yeah. I'm going to try and bonus action grip.
Sorry, I'm just testing something while she's doing that. No. Yep, so it needs to make an athletics check against that. Which it will try to do. It does not succeed, so it will go prone.
Yeah, so with that first attack, he hits into one of its legs, hooks the hook underneath its arm, grabs it with the other hook, kicks its bamboo leg, and flips it over. Before going for his secondary nick hook. So it's sumac.
Oh!
No offense, challenge is raised.
And that your turn?
Yeah.
Morrigan.
Morrigan will step forward and, much like his brother, he is not the type to give enemies any form of recourse. It is not attacking. Supposed to have range. I don't know what's happening here.
Is it considering you at 15 feet from where you are?
Maybe.
No, your weapon just seems to have broken.
It was
But
working
it worked
before.
earlier.
One use weapon.
One use, sorry.
Where's that? Why has it stopped working? Like, it's definitely rolling, but then it's not rolling like it's attacking. Weird. Don't know why that's something.
You know what? Actually,
Well,
I have an opportunity. I don't. Let me check if this will work. Might as well try my other option. Because that's apparently broken for some reason. Yeah, I will. So it's a large creature, correct?
yes.
It is on the ground. Even that won't work. What's going on? I'm gonna refresh my game.
Yeah, let me just try it myself.
I'll use my garrote.
Yeah, it worked when I did it. What are you trying to do with this?
I'm going to garrote, and it's going to give it the grappled condition until it breaks free of the grapple. Or if I hit, it will be grappled, and it must make con saves, or it can't speak or breathe.
Okay, and is that in place of damage or as
No,
well
it's
as damage?
It's as well as damage.
Okay, it is grappled. And you are choking out the crab.
Yep, I literally have its head like wrapped in the wire of my strange gauntlets. And then my bonus action will be to have my creature attack.
Yep. It will slam dunk the hunk. But okay, I don't know if I've got that set up right now. Max damage roll.
Nice.
Is it just double checking? Is it meant to have the ability to do either bludgeoning or lightning damage with its hit?
I believe so.
Yeah, I was just double checking. That was something I'd set up right. Okay, interesting. Okay, so that's that. Anything else?
No, that will be me for now.
Okay, the giant crab is choking as it comes to T's turn, and it's looking quite pitiful as it struggles against being suffocated.
It's so sad. I'm going to move here. And Marshmallow's away.
Yep. As your marshmallow hits, it cracks through its shell, leaving blood and marshmallow goop.
Just shakes her head. This is so terribly sad.
Kind of is. Kind of is.
Bill can definitely hear Morrigan is beginning to laugh within the gas mask as they fight.
Yeah, anything else on your turn, T?
No, that's me for now.
Okay. So what does the crab have to do whilst choking out?
It has to roll a con save, or it will be suffocating and unable to speak. I think the save is like 13.
Yeah, it gets a 20 overall.
CC is 8 plus my strength, so yeah, it would
Yeah.
But it's still grappled until I release it.
Yeah. Which means it has 0 movement, which means it can't actually get up. So what it can do is retract into its shell. And then it's just gonna, whilst in its shell, it's just gonna swing out at you, I guess, Morrigan, as you're the one choking it out currently.
That does not hit me.
No. It's struggling. Bill.
Alright, as a bonus action, I will use my thri-keen telepathy to establish a link to the creature. And... oh my goodness. I will communicate to it that if it stops fighting, we will spare it.
Roll me persuasion or intimidation check, I guess.
Persuasion. Why not? Well.
But you've all hurt me, so I think I should hurt you.
Understandable.
I was gonna play nice after you killed Mr. Crayfish, but then you kept attacking me.
Well,
And actually,
you've attacked my friend, so I had to protect them. I'm sure you understand.
I attacked the scary, spooky skeleton man. Because Mr. Crayfish said so.
Unfortunate misunderstanding. And then, yeah, that's my turn. Sorry, guy. Tried to save you.
Okay, Grendel then.
I don't know what's going on conversation-wise. I don't
Nope.
understand the crabs.
Nope.
Nope.
I'll attack them. Yeah. I will do that.
Oh! I'm underground. Why am I getting hooked?
Oh. He seems to be a muffin. How we like it.
Oh!
I will... Yeah, I'll leave it there. I don't think he looks...
Morrigan.
Does he look close to dying, or...?
He's a bit beyond bloodied.
I will first go for another. I will continue using my garrote effectively. I don't know why my stuff is doing it like this.
Doing like what?
I don't know why it's not rolling the stuff right clicking thing.
It did what I did. Which is confusing. Like, I'm seeing the rolls, but it's not coming up. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't click anything, did I? Did I do something that...
I mean, because it worked fine when... Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
Well, I will have my creature do a slam. It's what is going on?
Oh. Okay.
Yes, that would be my turn. I apologize. I don't know what's happening.
I'm not sure either. Just trying to check something. Who would be at strength? Who would be that? Where's it getting the extra 2?
I believe it uses my proficient. No, it does something.
Yeah, I think it's getting the 3, but then it's adding an extra. Oh wait, it's going to be something in my. Oh, it's flanking. That's where it's getting the extra 2
Okay,
from
yeah.
the attack roll. That's where it is. Right, so that's your turn. Your creature's turn. T.
Okay.
The large crab is crying.
But can I tell it's crying? That's the key bit of information.
It's currently being choked, so it's kind of a mixture of the two, I suppose. It's sort of gasping and bleeding a lot. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna take another step closer. Oh, the game is paused.
Mm-hmm. Gonna be?
There we go.
Yep.
I'm going to pull a donut out of my pocket and try to slip it to the creature.
Are you just giving it a donut, or is that actually doing something?
It's a bolstering treat.
Okay.
It gives it temporary hit points equal to my proficiency bonus, which is 3.
Okay.
So I'm
It
essentially giving
gets,
him a little bit of healing on the sly.
Nom nom nom.
And I would like to try to befriend it.
It looks at you, and you can give me an insight check.
$13.
It's quite clearly scared for its life, and looks at you quite pitifully.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at the group. He's no threat to us. Let him go. The other one wanted to die with, in battle on its purpose, but this one, it's clearly frightened.
You look at Morrigan, who's got this thing, with a garrote wire around its neck, and just the hollow emotionlessness of the gas mask he's wearing, staring back at you.
Bill will lower his fists and refurl his little arms and be like, a nod.
Morrigan will wait until its turn passes to let it go, because he's not going to let a risk play. He wants to make sure the thing is not going to fight if they are going to.
Guess it makes its con save against choking again, which I think this time it fails.
It would begin suffocating.
So it begins suffocating, and I'm gonna have it just try to break free of the garrote, I guess.
Yeah, it can,
guess
it can
it's-
do that. Yeah. It's a strength versus athletics. Or it can use, I guess it can use acrobatics too, but it's basically a, as always, it's a post check.
I saw your roll and then it disappeared.
I don't know what's happening with my game.
I will roll that again for you. I think you have succeeded and it is unable to break free. But that will be its turn. Bill, what would you like to do in your turn? Bill?
I will, I'll tell it, hey, we're gonna stand down. And the nice, tea lady here will give you a treat for cooperating.
I just want to go back to sleep and not die.
That can be accomplished.
And okay, I'll stop fighting if you stop choking me. This is telepathic, of course, so
Yeah.
it's sort of like gasping out whilst
Yeah.
telepathically saying this.
I will look at Morrigan and be like, in your head, Morgan, you'll hear Bill, please stop choking my friend.
I look at Grendel with our goals here. Grendel, Morgan is looking to you to see your feelings.
Hmm. Maybe we keep this specimen alive.
Yeah, Morgan will hold its throat for a few more seconds, just to show that at that moment they really could have, and they will release one side of the garrote as the wire winds back into its spool.
Okay. And with that, we shall say the combat is over. And the crab slowly begins to right itself. And it will pat T on the head.
I will pat it on its arm in return.
Can I go back to sleep now? I don't mind. You can go through. I didn't have sacred duties like Mr. Crayfish. He never told me his name. I just know him as Mr. Crayfish.
You may go back to bed now, my friend. Sleep tight.
Yeah, it crawls back under its boulder and then goes, I suppose I should tell you everything I know as thanks, but I don't know a lot. I was brought in here when I was really tiny. You could fit me in your pocket. Well, maybe not you. You've got small pockets. But Mr. Crayfish said that there was a way out this way. But I did hear a big crash down there a few years ago. He also said to ignore the mud. No, wait. Was it ignore the mud? No, ignore the lime. I don't know what a lime is. But, and that's about it, I think. I'll have a think and I'll tell you if you come back after I've had my nap. I'll see what I can remember.
Thank you, friend. Sleep well.
He will crawl back under his rock.
Grendel just starts going to work, putting into this crayfish to take a sample and try and figure out if there's any properties of this that maybe contribute to the mist or have any strange disease properties.
While Grendel does that, you guys see Morrigan reach out with his gauntleted hand and just sort of grab the creature by the back and begin to shock it with lightning, which seems to revitalize it.
Yep. You can just update his HP. I could not get the lightning absorption to work. It's technically immune to lightning damage but you just have to manually add that.
Morrigan sort of Grendel would hear Morrigan cursing in Knoll under their breath at letting an easy kill go.
Bill will climb out on top of the rock and begin to meditate.
Is that you saying you want a short rest?
No, I'm just I'm chilling up here.
I mean,
okay.
I can heal somebody, but Morrigan will say, saying, "Good thing you brought that snack with you, ma'am. We would have had our hands full."
Now, boys, I don't mind you killing things. Yeah, I have no issues with that. I don't care what you want to do with the spare parts or whatever. Where I do draw the line is helpless creatures that are not fighting back.
So you're saying we shouldn't make them helpless, so then we can kill them?
No, what I'm saying is if they are not aggressive towards us in the first instant, perhaps they don't deserve to die.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Back to work.
Bill will say, I agree. The crab, he is very nice. He has given me information. If we want to find an exit, we head to the north. And then he told me to be careful of the lime. I have no idea what a lime is. But the crawfish, on the other hand, he needed to die an honorable death, serve out his duty and his purpose. But I would not like to kill the innocents if that is possible.
Well, there are two kinds of lime. Did they mean a citrus or a stone?
I don't know. He just said a lime.
And which way did he say to go? You said there was a way out.
There's an exit to the north.
Well,
There's-
technically, this is reminding myself. North is technically this way, and you
Okay.
came in from the south. This map is weird in that regard, so that is
So there's an exit to the
east.
Yes, this would be the
Yeah.
east. To our east, there's an exit. To the north, I have no clue, and to the west, I have no clue.
Sorry, I got that back to front. You came in from the north. This is the south, so that's the
Okay.
west.
Take
Sorry.
back everything I just said. I don't know what I'm talking about.
We need a compass on the
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill's not so great with the directions.
We came in from the north. The north is where the exit is.
The exits to the west.
But the exit is the way we came. What?
No, the exits
No,
to the west.
the exit's to the west, which is
Oh,
the
okay.
top room.
I'll have the creature go investigate while Morrigan and Grendel dissect.
Okay, so the walls of this corridor are wet and slimy. The stucco covering has become saturated with water and it's decomposing and sloughing off in spots on the southern wall, exposing the seams on the large stone blocks from which this structure was built.
I don't believe I've visioned from the creature the way that I should. That, or is it just like a really small hallway here?
What vision should they have?
60-foot dark vision.
Nope, they are not. There you go.
Okay. Okay. It won't go down the hallway on its own, but it will. At least it'll open the door.
Yeah, I'll finish up. Did I find any properties from that would explain the mist or any
One
sort of
thing you
disease
do
or...
find out about it is that that particular crayfish seemed to not have any like markings or adverse effects to suggest it was being affected by the mist at all.
Morrigan is going to. So this is still the hermit
Yeah.
crab. Just
Yeah, it's
for the
just
sake of Morrigan's interest, I will use physiological analysis because I want to know its hit points. I want to know its current hit points.
17 plus 3 temp, I guess.
And what is its? Might as well use the other half of it. What's its armor class?
Its armor class, as it's currently retracted into its shell, is 19.
Oh. Are you two all
Yes.
right? Is there anything in that hallway?
Let me see. Is there anything in this hallway?
There is. So what you can see is there is part of the stonework on the right-hand side seems to have worn away with over time with this sort of decomposition and sloughing off. It almost looks like that block could be moved.
I could have the creature try to move the block if you guys want the block to be moved.
Sure. Let's move the block. After you, creature.
Yeah, I will have the creature attempt to move the block.
The creature puts its hands on the block and begins to push, and immediately the you see parts of its bone-like structure melt away as it's pressing against this.
I will just stand behind it, shocking it repeatedly as it tries to move the block.
It continues to try to push, but it doesn't seem to have enough strength by itself to move this block.
Okay.
But he started melting when he touched it?
Mm-hmm. It appears that the wet lime has an acidic nature.
The slime?
The
Lime.
lime.
The lime.
And we're underground, so that makes it sublime.
I love that band.
I
But
could.
This is above the door, right?
I could.
So- It's not a door. This is like a large stone block, which possibly could be moved if it was pushed hard enough against, but obviously you don't have... The creature by itself doesn't have enough strength to push it.
Does anybody have anything that could clear the boulder?
I mean, if it's acidic, I could try to make some sodium bicarbonate. And you would see as Morgan says the word sodium bicarbonate before they like notice, and then they go, I could make some baking soda.
By all means, we have no other option. I'm out of it. I don't have many tricks. Just
I
use
can
what
at
you
least
get.
try. I have an alchemist. I have an alchemist supplies, so I could maybe try.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a...
Yeah.
The
The corridor
like
does
how
continue on.
the utilize says identify a substance or start a fire.
Or start a fire.
Yeah.
Oh, it does look like it's blocked over there.
Yeah, the staircase goes up for only a few steps, and it seems the rest it's filled in with clay and stone rubble.
Well, I don't think we're going this way.
It looks like we'll have to go deeper to get out. At least we can use that crab as food if we're stuck here.
Oh, there's no need for that.
She looks like she has food.
I came fully prepared, it's fine.
We're not killing the crab.
I meant the dead one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a crab.
dead
Didn't you
one.
already harvest that?
Yeah.
I just took a sample.
I see.
But it's interesting to know that thoughts of killing the other one was on your mind. Somewhat. Anyway,
Well, let's deal with other pathways.
Well, we don't want to
Rather
move this
than-
rock?
oh yeah,
We can come back to the rock. Do we want to... It would damage the creature. Do we want to push against it?
It's your creature. If you're not willing to cause it damage, then that's fine. We will come back another time.
Alright.
You could try to clear off, because what it is, as I said, it's like the stucco things have sort of melted over time, causing that sort of wet, caustic lime over it.
I mean, I've got a shovel. Can I scrape?
Yeah, you could potentially scrape off, yeah.
also we should be good. We have like acid resistance if it is acidic, so
Yeah. But yeah, you can start scraping away some of that wet caustic lime, probably, I guess, tossing it into the corner or something.
Sure.
After a few minutes, you're able to scrape enough away that you think you could probably get your hands on this without causing yourself any damage.
Okay. I set my shovel to the side, rub my hands together, and all right. Shall we do this?
Yeah, it looks like it's designed for with the spacing, you could probably get about 4 people's worth to push against it.
Yeah, Morrigan and Grendel are fairly strong, so we could get the creature and then both of us. I feel like if something happens to the thing, I feel like it'll squish Bill.
Yeah. Okay, with your combined strength, you're able to push this boulder aside. Or this large limestone block.
Mm.
Beyond the
Really?
plug is a small foyer holding 3 sealed urns on the east and west sides. To the south are double doors of bronze with glyphs worked into their faces. And as you've got comprehend languages up, I guess I will give you the description of that. Here lies Tloques Popolokas, master of the others, who is like the wind and the night.
Oh, this is like there's a tomb here? Like here lies as like a name?
Yeah, it says, here lies Tloques Popolokas. Which I'm potentially butchering the pronunciation of, I will say. Because,
Are these like canopic jars?
second.
They look like jars, or are they not jars? I don't know what these are.
Yes, these are jars. These are urns.
Oh. I will stand back and look to see if there's any traps on the doors before I have the creature do anything with them, but...
Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm just going with my own pronunciation.
Loke... Poplokas?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're gonna you can roll me an investigation check to see if you see any traps, or actually, or perception.
My perception, of course.
Okay.
24.
Yeah. You notice the glint of glass in the seam between the doors.
Mm. Can I peer into that glass?
You can see a green swirl within that glass.
Is there a way to... So I presume it's positioned to where it would break if the doors are not opened in a very particular way?
Yes. You would say that they are positioned in such a way, something, that, let's put those because technically they are, that if you were to force the doors open, it would cause the glass spheres to break. But if you were to open the door properly, it would push the whatever it is out of harm's way.
Is there any indication of a mechanism for the doors?
That would be a thieves' tool check.
If you mention that, Bill can step up and do a thieves' tool check. He's proficient with those.
To be clear, we're not trying to force the door. I'm just trying to figure out the way that it's intended to be open.
Yeah, it looks like if the door is unlocked, that will what's open it. Will
Okay.
move the trap out, move the whatever this glass is out the way. Whereas if you were to like basically push the door open with force, that would break them.
Well, if they are swirling smoke, Morrigan would turn and look at Grendel, and like flick an ear, and go and sort of go like flick an ear like towards his mask, and just kind of look at him with an indication of like this might be something that we're looking for.
He just nods.
And I will help Bill if he will let me. I'll like point out what I've seen to help him avoid it.
In this case, Bill, you can give me a thieves' tool check with advantage.
Woo. Oh man,
Wow.
I have a +7 to that. Terrible roll. Guidance. 12.
You are unable to unlock the door.
No good. The bottle's in the way, but I don't want to break it. Is there 2 doors or is it 1 big door?
It's a pair of double doors.
Okay.
Is there any like decoration or anything on them? Can't remember if you said anything.
Other than the glyphs that translate, as I said in the chat, there isn't anything.
Okay.
What are these things on the sides of the room?
They are urns.
Can I just check out an urn? I don't want to touch it. I just want to investigate.
Yeah, you seem to be earnest about it. Go for it. Just give me I guess.
Wait a minute. You seem to be earnest.
I am not rolling hot, unfortunately.
They are filled with what looks like a grey dust.
Oh.
Possibly ashes.
Oh, it's a person. I'm so sorry.
Beyond that joke.
Looking at the smoke in these orbs, is there any way I can discern what it might be?
Give me, I guess, a nature check.
I can do that. 21.
It appears to be a poisonous gas of some kind, you would guess. Designed to when the doors are opened incorrectly to shatter and affect those that have come into the area.
Based on their size and shape, would I be able to predict how far it would spread?
Oh wait, sorry, just a second. I mistook what was in the urns. Sorry. The urns contain the equivalent of 20 flasks of oil.
Oh, they're full of oil?
Mm-hmm.
They could be used if we pressed so I'm trying to like figure out. So there's a seam of glass, and in this seam of glass there is it like a pipe, or is it like a bunch of
So looking through the doors, you can see through like the scene, you can see glass, and in that glass, every now and then, you can see a swirl of like a green mist.
okay, and this is like, is this like one thing of glass?
From what you can see looking through the door, obviously you can't see everything because you're on this side of the door, not that side of the door.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to figure out if these are like more like if it's like a pipe, like if we broke one spot on it, it would cause trouble, or if it is like a bunch of separate things.
It's not really possible to tell. It could
Okay.
be something small, it could be big. You've not really got enough view on that. You can only see a small sliver like through the crack of the door.
Okay.
You got any ideas, T or Grendel? You been quiet for this?
I was looking through my things in anything that would maybe grab and move it, or thinking, would there be a way that opening the door and breaking the container, in doing so, if we could use another container to quickly bottle as much of it as possible to stop it spreading?
Probably
Seemed weird.
not. Probably not. This would be pretty much as it breaks, it would spread out and cover potentially a large area and afflict those with it.
Spread.
Yeah, it's not clear how far it would spread.
No then. I don't think I got anything. I've not got thieves' tools or anything. Try and unlock it myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I already failed, so.
Yeah, I'll give you another try if you want to, Bill.
Oh, on the other door?
Yeah.
Alright. Bill will look at Morrigan. Can you explain this to me one more time? Just to be sure?
Morgan will earnestly, way more like earnestly, compared to like refusing to kill the creature. When Bill goes, "Will you do a thing for me?" Morgan will like lean up on Bill's shoulder and basically like point out all the little things, and like he's speaking in intricate detail, like, and using.
Ooh. Bill is not the brightest. He's not the sharpest tool
Yeah.
shed.
Well, give me that thieves' tool check for advantage.
Let's see. Woo! Bill did it!
Okay, with that, you are able to successfully unlock the door. And as you do so, you notice the glass is moved out of the way. And you're able to open the doors and enter the room.
Okay. Would it be possible to figure out where the glass went as we open the doors?
You can have a look in the room. That is for certain.
Okay.
So, as you enter the room, you can see that basically there is a glass sphere resting atop a lever that's been moved. That's now moved out the way as the lock has been opened. You could potentially move the lever in order to get the glass sphere, but it looks like intricate work. And would be another thieves' tool check.
How risky would it be?
Well, if you don't meet the DC, you won't get it. If you meet the DC, if you fail by enough, something bad might happen.
Bill will look at Morrigan. Do you can gesture if you would like me to attempt?
I will nod, but I will. First, I'm going to try to essentially like. I will go to these urns, and I'm going to try to. It's a glass sphere, so that's probably. I'm going to try to essentially like pull out a cloth and
Yeah.
sort of place it around this orb so that like try to like put as little like stress on this orb as possible while
Okay.
we're working with the machine.
Okay.
Essentially, I'm giving Bill the help action again, but
Okay. Bill, give me another Thieves Tool check with advantage.
Nice.
That's great. Perfectly good enough. You're able to, wrapped in this cloth, you're able to remove the glass sphere.
And I will go to hand it to Morrigan. Before I put it into his hand, I'll just say, "This is for sparing the crap."
I will nod, and you see as Morgan will wrap it in the cloth and then put it in a box that was like slightly out of vision on their waist. Clearly intended for fragile objects.
Okay. Looking into the room, behind the doors is a chamber cut out of the rock with a veil of calcite and stalactites covering the walls. Buttresses rise from the corners, brown shot through with black, and triangular stone pillars support the high ceiling. Occupying the center of the chamber is a colossal monument resembling a giant's table, covered on all sides with intricate carvings and glyphs. Graved on the floor in front of the entrance is a seal that displays more glyphs. Opposite the entrance, a battle axe is embedded in the wall 6 feet above the floor. The glyphs in the floor seal are written in Omen and translated as, "Ah, defilers, now you shall join me in my eternal resting."
I don't like the sound of that. And there's an axe over here on this side of the room?
Yep, it is embedded in the wall.
Mm.
I mean, are we here for a bit of tomb raiding, are we not?
Why are we here?
That's a good question.
Why
What
are you
brought them here?
T, what are you
We fell through a hole.
Cool. Bill's gonna look at T, what are you doing? You seem very out of place.
Oh, it's long story short. My son's a bit of an adventurer, you see, and he and his friends went off on a little trip, and they haven't come home for a while. So I've gone looking for them. They're around here somewhere. I know it.
Mhm.
I'm just not quite certain where. I'm terribly afraid he's got himself into trouble. He has a habit of doing that.
It's very noble.
No, just a worried mother, dear.
I'm guessing he's not likely to be this many feet under the ground in whatever this place is that we fell.
Oh, I have not got the foggiest idea, darling.
Well, what are you two brothers doing here?
You would see let me see how good Grendel does at this. how good Morrigan does at this. I don't think it'll be good, but no. You would see Morrigan's eyes like drift down to the thing where they put the orb, and he just calmly goes, "Just adventuring as you do."
Looking for treasures.
Mm.
Eh,
You can see right through them. They're not telling the truth in the slightest.
Mhm.
Or at least
Treasure is
Morrigan's not.
different for everyone, I suppose.
I'll do that as well. Yeah. Mine sounds more believable.
Grendel is more believable. But you can have a look around the room if you like.
Yeah, I'll have the creature like step around just in case there's like something on the floor, like a risk.
Okay.
Essentially, it's going around looking for risk.
Activating traps, basically.
Yep.
If there are any.
Yep, there doesn't appear to be any traps, but I suppose. Can you communicate with your creature? Is the question, I
It
suppose.
understands languages. It cannot speak, though technically, I guess with Bill, telepathically could respond. I guess.
Does it understand a language?
It does.
Yeah, I mean, I could link up to it.
So-
and talk to it.
It would say then, as it approached, chill down spine, as it approached the axe.
Hmm.
And the axe is a battle axe, a blade of bronze, and a haft wound with snakeskin wrappings. It appears to be casting an ominous shadow in the shape of what appears to be a withered arm.
Hmm.
As shown in the pictures.
I don't know about you, but I kind of want to see how this guy died.
The monument is constructed. Yeah, the monument is constructed from several parts. A great stone slab, 20 foot long by 10 foot wide, rests upon a 4-foot thick monolith of rock of similar dimensions, and this in turn is supported by 6 huge blocks of dolomite. Every component has been carved with intricate carves and glyphs. The top of the slab depicts a struggle between a dark-skinned man and a mighty knotted serpent. Engraved along this illustration are glyphs identical to those found in the door. Under these glyphs are etched a series of 4 face glyphs in a line. At the foot of the slab is a row of 11 of these symbols, all different in form. The glyphs on the top of the slab give his name and the date he died. 5439 is written in the face glyphs.
Is with comprehend languages, do I get like there's any like riddle or anything here, or is it like
So there are 11 face glyphs at the foot of the block, which seem to correspond to the numbers 0 through 10.
do they look like buttons?
They do look like they could be pressed, yes.
Could I? Does it look like if I was to press them, they would, and it'd go badly? It could be a trap.
It's not clear, but based on general tomb raiding experience or just hearing about tomb raiding, almost certainly if this is done wrong, it could be trapped. You can also give me an Arcana check.
16.
Okay, one of the glyphs on this, one of the larger glyphs, looking at it, appears to be some sort of arcane runes, which could potentially be a glyph of warding.
Hmm.
No, the trigger for said glyph, if it is such a thing, isn't clear.
I will step back. And I will go, it could be a glyph of... It appears someone has set some sort of trap. And then sort of like lead everyone else to stand back. And I will... besides the date, is there like any indication of like numbers beyond that?
Nope, that is the only set of numbers. The one that I put in the chat.
Okay, and there's no like numbers on these like pillars.
Let me just have a look. No, it doesn't appear to be.
And what was the date that it had there again?
5439.
Is there a possible trick to the way those numbers read? Like, is there some sort of dating system that we wouldn't know that this particular group of people, or like dating system this particular or like civilization used that was different than the
I
expected
guess
dating
just
system?
give me a history check.
Okay.
How much did you study this ancient civilization before you got here?
22.
If anything, the date that's written there, which does clearly seems to be in a weird order by itself, so that's probably the right order for it, you would think.
Okay, I will step back and let the corpse rock creature input that number sequence on the buttons.
Okay. As it presses the 9, the glyph begins to glow. And I need all of you to make me... let me just check the... actually, no, wait, this is... wisdom saving throw from all of you, including your creature.
Do I have proficiency in wisdom saving throws as a monk?
No,
I have
that's a late thing.
Strength. Oh, okay. Oh, Bill.
Okay.
I can give you bountiful luck, so you can reroll that one.
If you'd be so kind.
Yep. Reroll that, Bill.
Can I roll another one? No. 11.
Okay.
We're all doing wisdom saves, are we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Something happened.
Good.
We put the
I'm good at
doomsday
that.
code in.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh,
So the only one who manages to resist... Oh, yep.
You
I
could
will-
pitch mine up, Morrigan, or Grendel. I think I'm the closest one to saving, if I didn't succeed.
Oh, you got a 40.
I got a 14.
Yeah, I'll vital signs
So I get a plus
4.
on my save.
Okay, so Morrigan and T pass. The other 3 of you, you see from out of the crypt a strange bat-like entity move through all of you, clutching at where your heart would be, and then moving away. Seemingly nothing happening, but there is now a symbol of a bat emblazoned on your chest. But T and Morrigan, you do not suffer this effect.
Does this appear to be a curse or something like that? Is that...
That would be another Arcana check. But
Can I-
you're... your creature will also be able to indicate to Bill that when it pressed those, the top of the crypt opened slightly, which would allow that it seems to be too heavy for it to move by itself.
Okay. We'll roll that Arcana.
I would like to work that out as well.
Yeah, this appears to be a curse effect, though what the curse has done isn't clear. There's no... It just seems to have marked those who failed in some way.
Well, looking at the creature, I just kind of go, well, I may need to let you die to get rid of that. And then look towards Grendel and Bill and go, look towards T. T looks like a cleric, right?
She does, yes.
I raise an eyebrow and go, would you be able to deal with that if we had to spend the night here?
Let me have a look. You have to bear with me. This is my first time playing cleric. It's a lot.
I believe clerics have remove curse as a level 3 spell.
I don't think I've got it prepared though.
Yeah, that's why I asked about that. In like tomorrow, like effectively.
Yeah, so after a long rest.
Yeah, in which case, yes, I'd probably be able to do that.
No, right?
Actually, I would say at this point it's been long enough before we continue. All of you will take 1 acid damage.
Ouch.
Ow!
From the caustic nature of this, because you can't get lower than 1 undamaged.
Oh, did you say it's been an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to reapply the smelling salts
Yeah.
to everyone.
But with that,
Reduce that
Morrigan and Creature, are you going to open the sarcophagus thing?
I just want to see how this guy died, so yeah.
The block beneath the slab is hollow, and inside is a crumbling skeleton decked out in decayed finery. It appears to have been a man of taller than average stature, obviously of great importance. Gems and other small adornments of obvious value lie on and around the body. Covering the skull is a mask of jade with cowrie shell eyes and obsidian pupils. About the corpse's neck is a jade pendant carved with the face of a human-like bat.
All right.
And you have to do a minute of how they died.
Basically, I just want to know how they died. I'm curious. I want to know if they died of a disease, effectively, but I just want to know how they died.
That's actually a really good question. I'll say you can see
It.
probably the way this one died looks like there is like cracked ribs where the heart should be.
If okay.
Almost like perhaps it died from a fatal wound to the heart.
So there was the bat, and it's wearing like a bat mask.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a chest wound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
How are this guy's incisors?
Surprisingly, not elongated.
Okay.
He's not a
I guess-
vampire.
I guess the real question is this thing really dead? Or is it in torpor, is my question.
That's a good question. It's not really clear in this case. But I'll actually give you a sort. Just a second. No, not yet. Not for that. But yeah, it's got obviously the mask on. It's got everything else on. As I said, um, the mask and pendant look quite valuable. Would you like to examine more closely? Actually, sorry, another thing you would notice is that beneath the mask are fragments of bone as though the skull has been crushed.
I sort of look up at everyone and go, I think it may have been vampiric, maybe, though it's not consistent.
What's a vampire?
It's an undead being that drinks the blood of others.
Ew.
That- Might explain the bats on those chests. Where do we get the symbols? The symbol.
I think it's on our chest. There's like a bat.
Yeah.
symbol
Can
on our chest.
I look
Yeah.
over its gear without, like, messing
Yeah.
with it? Because I don't know if it's in some sort of torpor. I don't want to...
Yeah.
I don't want to disturb it unless I know it would be safe to do so. So I want to look at everything it has on it. It was obviously buried with like regalia. I want to see if any of it would be useful.
Hey, within the fragments of the jaw is a spherical white onyx. Strands of hair still remain on the skull, gathered into black obsidian and red pipestone tubes. Above the mask on the corpse's forehead is a diadem of dark opals and jade discs. To either side of the mask are jade earplugs carved in several pieces to resemble budding flowers. Draped over the ribcage is a breastplate made of loops of tubular jade interspersed with bone dividers. Scattered around the neck and through the ribcage of the corpse are 156 jade beads shaped like spheres, cylinders, tri-lobed beads, floral buds, open flowers, pumpkins, melons, and a snake's head. About the wrists are wide jade bead bracelets. On the middle finger of each hand are carved jade rings, one in the form of a man holding the moon, and the other a panther ready to strike. Pressed into the fingers of each hand is a large bead, a jade cube in the right hand and a spherical agate in the left hand. At the feet of the skeleton lie two small containers, apparently of glazed clay, one fitted with flower-shaped plugs in both ends, the other holding a 1-inch diameter piece of mother of pearl. Lying among the hip bones is a 6-inch long statue of a faceless man with large pointed ears.
I look towards the rest and go, what would you like to do? If anyone can... Does anything seem like useful, or
Well,
is it like treasure items? As in, like, does it seem like...
a lot of it does seem like treasure, but you can give me... I suppose an investigation check.
Okay. $19.
So, looking closely, the statue of the faceless man with large pointed ears appears to have like some sort of plug in the bottom, suggesting it's a container of some kind. The one of the small containers is fitted with flower-shaped plugs in both ends, so again could contain something. The rings look, and the bracelets both look quite intricate, almost as if they might be more than just jewelry, but it's not clear what. Without further inspection.
I can inspect them further with identify.
Yeah, if you wish to spend the time to do so.
Yeah, I mean, while people are looking around. Oh, there's an axe over there as well, I guess.
Yeah, there's the axe buried in the wall.
Which I'm hesitant to touch.
Yeah, it had a weird hand shadow.
Yeah, the stuff in here I can take a bit of time and.
Yeah,
I look
what would
at
you like
the-
to investigate first?
I will look at T and go, do you have experience with dealing with undead, ma'am?
I do.
If this is some sort of vampire and it was to wake up, would you have recourse?
I have ways of dealing with it, yes.
And no qualms about killing it if it does?
It's already dead.
Ah, loophole.
The dead should stay dead. For the most part. Depending on how long they've been dead. This guy certainly should remain dead.
The
If
creature?
he is of the vampiric nature.
What about the
Agreed.
creature?
Alrighty then. Yeah, I will let Grendel to spend the time to sort of identify and look around.
Okay, what would you like to try to identify first?
I was thinking like the bracers she said seemed more.
Okay, so spending the 10 minutes to identify the bracers, they are bracers of defense.
Ooh.
Sorry, say that again. Yeah, just got back.
They are bracers of defense.
Ooh,
Oh,
useful.
I
Which-
don't wear armor.
Which, if you're wearing no armor and using no shield, they give you a +2 to AC, but they do require attunement.
Oof, I don't wear armor.
if I will, you know what I will do? I'll sort of stand over the corpse and trying to do this without like disturbing it too much. I will place my manacles around its hands just in case it does wake up. Right after I pull these bracers off the skeleton.
And that would give the restrain condition, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I will take the bracers and at the same time I will put the manacles on. To where it would be behind its back as well, so it wouldn't be able to
Okay.
essentially like, pull the manacle behind the spine.
Yep.
And I will toss the bracers over to Bill.
Yeah, I will put those onto your sheet for you, Bill.
Woo!
I do explain to Bill what the use is.
Awesome.
So then there's the pots and the rings were mentioned as seemingly important. Was there anything
Yes.
else?
Those were the only things that caught your eye that didn't seem to be just treasure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look over them as well then.
So, spending the time, the man holding the moon is a ring of fire resistance. And the other, with a pamper ready to strike, is a ring of animal influence.
I think we should take those.
Yeah. The don't know about anyone else in the party, but the animal influence one doesn't really interest me. But you animal lovers, were enjoying talking to the crab.
Would you like it, ma'am?
Ring of fire resistance?
Looking at our T, Morrigan will hold up the ring of animal influence and ask if she wants it.
Is it? What does it do?
Fair point.
Grendel would be able to explain that the ring has 3 charges, and it regains 1d3 charges at dawn. While wearing the ring, you can spend 1 charge to cast one of the following spells with a save DC of 13. Animal Friendship, Fear, but affects beasts only, Speak with Animals.
I would love that.
It lets you influence animals.
Basically.
For good or
Yeah.
for better or for worse.
What a wonderful thing to have.
And are you after the ring of fire, or do you want to rock
We can
paper
play.
scissors it?
We should play chess over it.
Okay.
We can just roll intelligence against each other.
Yeah. So do an intelligence off.
Nerds.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I have a tool proficiency.
You have a tool proficiency?
Yep.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I don't.
So just roll me a straight intelligence check.
How rude.
You guys watch
Yeah,
as Grendel and Morrigan say a bunch of numbers back and forth, like numbers and letters, like 3, knight, like warrior 2G, and they just do that back and forth for like 5 minutes until Grendel goes, I concede.
You moved your mage default. That makes no sense.
But yeah, I put that on your sheet.
Oh.
Yeah. The other ones, as I said, appear to be containers. So, though I will say, if you're wanting to spend the time magically identifying those as well, which will at that point be pretty much about like you have identified 5 items to like 10 minutes each. So at
It'll be
that
like an
point, we'll
hour.
base get an hour.
We
Yep.
could just grab those and take them with us if you don't want to deal with them right now, Grendel.
I mean, up to you.
I mean, it
We're
could be a
we-
short rest. Like, we could just take a short rest here. I could heal someone before we do, and then we could do that.
Yeah, if anyone needs it, then sure, we can continue on with the identifying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I will, right before we do all the identifying, I will have healed someone. I will walk over to T, and I will hand you some salves.
Can they take a short rest with the poison, the acidic lime?
It's a good question. I
That is a good
suppose
question.
I'm actually considering that now. No, I suppose they don't know till they try. They can try to see it take a short rest. It's whether they get the benefits or not. Which
I'm technically not, because I'm been spent the whole time, so
yeah.
I mean, I at least have a gas, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I will. I will try. least. Because I'm the only one who would really benefit too much from it, so gives us information.
Yeah. Yeah. So, identifying these last two items, one appears to be the dried remains of a potion of invisibility, which you're smart enough to know you could perhaps rehydrate by filling with water. The other contains an elixir of health. And I am going to say, as you try to spend the time to rest, the constant irritation from the acidic nature of the mist is preventing you effectively resting and tending to your wounds. So you will not be able to benefit from a short rest here.
Sure.
But yeah, who would like a potion of invisibility or an elixir of health?
I took the ring, Grendel. They're yours.
Yeah, I'll keep hold of this.
I can already turn invisible.
Oh, that's cool.
They don't call me invisibility for nothing.
After we get those, considering that we already figured out that I don't know if this guy will try to come awake again, I will leave the manacles in place and I will lift the stone back onto the slab.
Okay. That seems to work. Nothing nothing seems to happen. It doesn't seem to wake up to stop you. But speaking of stopping, I think that is where we are going to wrap up tonight's session. So thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. We will be back for this, the continuation of this on the 23rd. But of course, join us Sunday for the Icewind Trackers, Monday for the Jumping Junipers, Tuesday for the Mistaken, Wednesday for the other Icewind Dale group, and next Friday on the 16th we'll be back for the Temporal Tower arc, where we will try to conquer Dodongo's cavern.
Bye,
So
everyone.
bye for now.
Bye-bye.